One of the most common issues we deal with at my HR department is poor performance. If an employee is not performing, it's normally due to either their conduct, by which I mean it's deliberate, or because of their capability. Now, conduct-related poor performance should be tackled under disciplinary procedure, which we've covered in other videos. In this film, we'll look at capability, and specifically capability that's not to do with a health issue. We'll cover health-related poor performance in a future film. So, how do we tackle poor performance? Well, like most HR procedures, the first stage is to investigate it properly with the employee. How can we define the problem and the gap between the actual performance and the performance we expect? That's the start point. Then ask the employee for the reasons for the gap. It's important here to listen and to be open-minded. There are other things to consider too. Has the employee ever achieved the standard we expect? And if they have, what's changed now? Does the employee need more training, perhaps because technology's changed or work processes have changed? Now, having considered these things, it's important to set the employee some reasonable improvement targets and a time scale. The time should allow for any additional training to take place if that's relevant. And lastly, it's important to follow up to check that the improvement is actually achieved. Now, all this can be achieved via an informal discussion. We don't have to go overboard. You can watch our video of a performance discussion with employee Frank Driver, who seems to be delivering less packages than other drivers. But informal interventions don't always work, and you might have to move into a formal process using the performance management procedure. This requires us to send a written invitation to the employee to attend a performance improvement plan meeting. They'll need a couple of days' notice, and they're allowed to have a companion at the meeting. That can be a trade union official or a fellow colleague. They must also be given a copy of the performance management procedure before the meeting. Now, actually, the meeting is quite similar to the informal investigation stage I've described. First, we establish the gap, then we investigate the reasons for it. We give the employee plenty of time to explain themselves. We set targets again and detail the support that will be given. This time, though, the meeting concludes with a performance improvement plan. It's a formal cover in the Frank Driver video. It's basically a record of the meeting. We'll also give the employee a performance warning and follow up with a performance warning letter. And finally, we'll need to then deliver all the support we promised. We won't just wait for the next meeting to happen. So how long should we give an employee to improve? It varies case by case. Very short service employees may be given a short period to improve, whereas a longer serving employee may be given several months and at least 2 formal review period stages. The first stage would come with a first performance warning, the second with a final performance warning. In either case, before you dismiss or give a final warning to any employee for any reason, you should speak with my HR department before you take any action. Before dismissing an employee, you should also consider alternatives like other roles the employee could do. Then any dismissal must be with notice, and the employee must always be allowed the opportunity to appeal. Now remember, we're talking about poor performance here that's due to ineptitude, has nothing to do with any medical condition that might be affecting the employee. That would require a wholly different approach and good quality medical information. So for an example, an employee's performance was suffering because they were losing their sight, there'd be very little point warning them that their sight had to improve. That's not going to help. At my HR department, we're happy to help clients with performance management cases. And if you found this video helpful, why not subscribe to our free YouTube channel? Thank you for watching.